Okay, folks. So I got through the preamble yesterday. A lot of crap that I needed to get down in order to get to this point. The blue research line is finished. Uh, it's right here. As you can tell, we have red circuit boards, sulfur crystals, engines, which are made in this thingy. They all get put into there, and blue research pops out and goes down there. Hmm. So this, as you know, is my refinery base. This is where my sulfur crystals come from. Right here. This is where the plastic comes from. Right here. They go down their respective lines. And this, of course, is the red circuit board made from plastic and copper and other junk. Yes, I've figured out a way to more or less efficiently use the belt to transport two kinds of items at once. But it's a pain in the ass. It really is. But anyway, red circuit boards, chips, voila. And now you know where babies come from. Yeah, I can't believe I said that either. So, that's the blue research line. That's it. It took more time for me to make the things necessary to get to blue research than it did for me to actually talk about it. Which I suppose is about par for the course, considering. So, let me take you on to what I did with my research. This is my new research line. As you can see, the red, the black, and the green all go into this one box because I've consolidated all three of those lines into a single one. Now, in all honesty, I'm probably not actually going to use a lot of black or military research because that deals with weapons. Now, I'm sure I'll need it at some point, yes, but I don't need it right now, which is why I've shut off the research valve. I've made like 500 some of them for now. If I need to, I'll just start it back up again and we'll start going with all that again, but right now I don't need it. So I shut it off. It's dead. It's gone. It's not dead, it's not gone, it's still there. But, you know, This is the blue research, and the blue research goes in here. And now I can research anything up to blue research. For those of you that don't know, it goes red, green, black, blue, purple, yellow, white. Blue is the halfway mark. This is like the majority of the thing we're going to spend. This is most of the time, this is most of the effort, this is most of the energy right here. Well, it will get more complex as time goes on. And a lot of people probably aren't going to go past yellow research to begin with. But you get my point. Like this is pretty much all we need. Now, of course, our next stop is purple research. As you can see here. As you can also see here, we're a bit behind when it comes to purple research. So, it takes blue research to make purple research. No, but close enough. So, I've already got this one. Pretty much this whole notch here don't need it. Don't worry about it. These over here, and like a few of these, yeah, I still need those. But then we'll get purple research, and then we'll be able to move on. As you can see, purple research is necessary for a lot of the advanced components. It's also necessary for the rocket silo itself, for the rocket itself, like a bunch of infrastructure things. Explosives, rockets, rocket silos, advanced components. Like, we're gonna need all that. Now, of unusual note is nuclear energy. We don't exactly need nuclear energy. I mean, our needs will continue to grow, obviously. But I'm doing pretty well as it is on the whole energy front. Speaking of the energy front, let me finally introduce you to what is now my main power node. This is my main power node, as I've stated before. This over here, this is a night shot, so I have to use a different color. This over here, don't worry about it. That has nothing to do with it. Like I said before, the solid state fuel, the carbon fuel cubes, the whatever you want to call it, these are made directly from my refinery, which you can see just about up here. Brought all the way down. This little yellow dot is where I am. So, from there to there. And from that point, distributed onwards. This little yellow device here, this is a belt splitter. It basically sends one thing off. You feed it one thing, and then it sends it to the right, and then the left, and then the right, and then the left, which is how you supply two lines from one. as you can tell, I'm not exactly a master of the technology. But yes, this is my main power node now. Not only does this produce more power more efficiently thanks to its fuel, but also I've stuck a few extra bits and bobs and whatnot onto it so that this is now my main power plant. The other one is just a side project. Speaking of side projects, we're going to be on those for a bit. Is this the one? Well, no, but this illustrates my point. We have 4 out of 7 Power Rangers. Well, basically. And it turns out my research level is woefully inadequate, to say the least. Even though I've only gotten to level 3 and or 4 if you consider military research a priority. My research is terrible. I mean, technically I could juice it a bit by putting down more labs, but the research rate itself is horrible. So, I'm going to need to research how to research in order to get more research faster. If that makes any sense. So, let me show you exactly what I'm working with here. Okay, so I've expanded a bit, as you can see. This thing right here is, well, was an enemy nest. No need to worry about that anymore. These circles, of course, indicate my turrets. I put a few more of those down. This blue line is my electric grid. As you can tell, it's quite expansive. All of these little brown lines are the various conveyor belts. You can just barely see them against the background there. So, this is where I'm getting my oil from. This is my refinery base, where I'm actually refining the oil. This is my research. And this is my manufactory. Or where I'm actually making all the things. So I have a few vital concerns. As you can tell, if my electricity gets cut out at any point, my whole place is going to shut down because it's all on a network. Now, of course, I'll need to go back and research more things having to do with electricity. I can research batteries, which that's not what they call it in this game for some strange reason, but basically batteries, so that I can store extra power, which I will probably end up needing, let's face it. Another thing, all of these individual little brown lines here, these carry important resources back and forth and back and forth to all the different places. This line here, that's actually 2 lines. Let me pick a different color. This one line here is actually 2. This goes off of my research line, which is where I'm sending all of my research just to go up to the research base. And this other one here, I'll use a different color for that, is my copper line. Now, I have 2 deposits of copper. This one and this one. Now, the distance between these 2 on the map is very short. In the reality of the game, that distance is massive. It literally takes me a day to get from one part of my base to the other, much less to the other base to the other. Which I'm going to have to fix that. If this line goes out, I'm screwed. This copper line here is responsible for the production of everything that makes copper. So in other words, the whole freaking setup aside from power depends on copper. A weakness? Yes. But I have taken steps. Again, I'm debating on how extreme I should make these measures. As you can tell, all I need to do is really fortify where the copper is coming from and where the copper is being smelted. Because those are the processes which attract the bugs. And of course, the bugs will come in and they will destroy you. Luckily, I don't have processing centers anywhere else but except these 2 areas. This place and this place. So if I focus my defenses here and here, here to a lesser extent, and here to a lesser extent, I should be fine. Now, of course, there's the question of what kind of defense. I didn't find a lot of oil. I did find some more, but I haven't found a lot of it. So making a flamethrower network is not going to be viable. At the same time, I actually recently upgraded my... well, I already said that, but I already upgraded my defenses with traditional mechanical turrets, and it took a lot of my resources just to put down more turrets and upgrade the turrets that were already there. I practically ran out of copper, which is why I stuck even more copper on it. Like I said, a lot hinges on that one space. Of course, this is the electricity line, of course, also a big weakness. And the first node, well, that's the second node actually. First node is like here. This is the second node. If either of these go down, the whole operation goes down. As I said, I've already researched different some different wiring. I'm probably not going to rewire the base as it stands, but I can clean it up a little bit, which won't really help much, but it'll make it seem less confusing. On top of that, there's nuclear power, which I'm considering very greatly because we have two sources of uranium. And of course, one set of uranium is enough to power a small reactor, but two of them with the uranium recycler. Fun note about uranium in this game. It's actually backwards from reality. In reality, 238 is more common than the other one, which is like 234. And in the game, 234 is more common than 238. But you need equal amounts of both in order to make fuel cells, which then produce electricity. So you have to research the technology to be able to use nuclear devices and then recycle the fuel so that you can actually make enough fuel to power your power plants. This is a pretty novice setup. This is bad. This is average at best. This is like I have never constructed a base that would take more than one nuclear reactor. And quite frankly, that's a miracle considering how I play this game. There's that. Oh, by the way, did I mention that the bugs are starting to evolve? Because the bugs are starting to evolve. I may have jumped the gun a little bit by saying that they've made big versions of the bugs. They haven't. They've made medium versions of the bugs. This right here, this is the largest nest on the map. Each one of these, those are worms. Those are the defense turrets. In case you've forgotten. These are all medium worms, which, believe me, I had enough trouble when they were small. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 defensive turrets. Even I think that's paranoid, and I'm on the other side of it. Three defensive arrays, it looks like a really weird smiley face. But 3 defensive arrays. Now, here's a kicker. This is a biter spawner. On the map, they look like this. Yeah, the slightly pinker pink. They look like that. Each biter spawner can produce around 3, maybe 4 smaller units. Around 2, maybe more medium units, which is where they're at now. 1 big unit. And then a huge unit. Like I said, right now, I haven't seen any big creatures. But that's like 3 or 4 creatures right there. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. You get my point. Also, with the medium creatures, they've started unleashing the specialized creatures. That's what the other nests are. I might be getting a little confused. But, like I said, 3, maybe 2 of these pop out. 1 or 2 of these pop out per nest. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means they've got a whole swarm army going on here. And they've got ranged defenses, and they have ranged attackers. The spitters are more dangerous than the biters, because they can hit you from far away. All of the ranged units that the aliens can use, bugs, aliens, native fauna, same difference. They use acid. Your armor does not protect against acid. Moreover, if they miss you, a pool of acid forms on the ground where you were standing. So not only can you get hurt when they hit you, you take damage over time. You take damage if you step in the wrong place. And meanwhile, there are about, I don't know, 20, 30 of them barreling down on you like a bunch of house cats on a saucer of milk. I don't know. But you get my point. Sieging something like this, for a guy like me, is almost impossible. Sieging it all at once, definitely impossible. As you can see here, I haven't researched a bloody thing when it comes to my military. I have a machine gun, I have armor-piercing bullets, I have heavy armor, and I have grenades. Yeah. If they come for me, I'm dead. I do have some miscellaneous bits. Didn't mean to do that. Miscellaneous pieces of information, but I don't really think anyone cares per se. So I'll cancel that for now. This video's gone on longer than it should have. But yeah, next stop, Purple Research. But before that, we need to work on some stuff.